What's up, Internet? RD Blade here. In this episode, we'll take a second pass at the page 6 splash page, and we'll reminisce about toy cassette players, guns, and cameras. Check it out. Welcome to episode 5 of Transformers Reanimated Express, where you'll see me, RD Blade, pencil a comic book in time-lapse so it'll go by a lot faster for you than it did for me. What you're seeing here is me continuing page 6. This is my second pass where I do a little bit of refining. What I typically do is after a drawing session, I will snap a picture of the drawing as it is so far and kind of obsess over it and see what stands out, what bothers me the most. And then the next session I will come in and fix all that. One of the first things I attacked on this one was the angle of the White House. So it's supposed to be a one-point perspective drawing, but the way I had the White House drawn, it needed to be more than 1 point perspective. So I kind of cheated the 1 point perspective a little bit, and I added a couple more vanishing points just so that I could get the White House at the correct angle. So there's kind of like a weird fisheye lens effect to it. That's kind of deliberate because I was just mostly eyeballing the vanishing points. I would have been happy to use a reference, but unfortunately I could not find an image of the White House from the angle that I wanted. I also figured I'd quit searching while I was ahead so I don't end up on some FBI list or something. As I look at these characters, I can't help but remember the toys. Something that always fascinated me about the Microchange guys, Megatron, Soundwave, I think Reflector as well, even though he's not pictured here, was the playability of those toys. Megatron turned into a Walther P-38, right? But it was a miniaturized one, this for the size of a child's hand. So it was like basically meant for a child to play with as a gun and then to turn it into a robot, right? Somewhere along the line, the fiction made it so that Megatron changed from this tiny handheld gun into a giant, 30-foot robot, or however big he is. But I'm willing to bet that the people that made the toys, they never intended that. They never gave it much thought. It was just like a toy gun for a child's hand that turns into a toy robot for a child's hand, I always found that interesting, how the cartoon had to invent this whole thing that ended up being called mass shifting in order to compensate for the fact that, compared to Transformers, guns are tiny. Tape recorder is tiny. And that's not a knock, really. I'm actually glad that the writers thought things through enough where it actually made kids think and try to figure out the science of it all, or the quasi-science of, whatever cartoon they were watching. There wasn't so much pandering as you would expect in a 30-minute toy commercial. Not in Transformers or G.I. Joe, anyway. I mean, there was plenty of the child psychology approved messaging in other cartoons like Thundercats and He-Man, Battle of the Planets, which, by the way, was brand new animation that was tacked on at the end of every episode for Battle of the Planets. And in case you missed it, viewer, I am now wearing a long sleeve shirt because I switched videos, so I'm no longer showing off my Sasquatch arms. You're welcome. Hey, since I've got you here, we've already started talking about Megatron's alt mode. In the late 80s, because of changing laws involving realistic toy guns, as well as, I suspect, to sidestep the whole mass shifting debate, future versions of Megatron, not counting masterpieces, after G1, would no longer be a gun, with one exception, I believe. So my question to you is, and this includes G1, which alt mode is your favorite Megatron alt mode? He was a gun, he was a few different tanks. He was a jet in the 2007 movie, NBE-1, and he was also a tank in Revenge of the Fallen. He was a fuel tanker, I think, in Dark of the Moon. Man, those live action movies really got crazy with his alt modes. He was a helicopter in Transformers Animated. That's interesting. So which Megatron alt mode do you think suited him best or is your favorite? I'd like to hear from you. Throw a comment down below, let me know. Thanks for joining me as I continue to make this splash page a reality. Like, comment, subscribe to continue this momentum, and hit that little ding ding notification so that you'll be notified when the next video in the series drops. Thanks for watching, and you'll see my Sasquatch arms in the next one. See ya!
Sorry, Sumdak. I am your mother.
If you liked what you saw here, check out my link tree below. It'll show you all the stuff that I've worked on over the years. Follow where you can, subscribe where you can, comment where you can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.